This is where we're staying, in this car park in Orgivia, just south of Granada in the Sierra Nevada mountains, but it is hot, hot, hot. I like it hot, but this is literally unbearable. Not quite sure what we're going to do in terms of park up, because we're not in a shady spot at all here. Where's Emma gone? So these streets are just absolutely scorching. You sort of find yourself finding these shady bits here, but even then it's about 38, 39 degrees today, and it feels like it as well. There's no respite from it. I make it sound like I'm walking miles through a desert, don't I? But there's comfortable heat where it's nice and hot, you know, and then there's heat that feels unbearable. There's no wind, it's very dusty. We actually filmed this place last year, so we're not going to do too much filming here. We've just come to kind of see old friends and you know, that we met last year and stuff as we're driving on through. And then the plan is to go to the Sierra Nevada mountains and up into Granada, but it looks like it gets even hotter up there. So we're not quite sure which direction we're going to kind of head in next. We're just heading now to a little cafe that we went to last year. Which is like it's very much our kind of vibe, and they do really nice fresh juices there and stuff. So we called in earlier for a fresh juice, and she said, I'm serving food later on, so we're going to go there for our evening meal and catch up with her.
Vegan, gluten-free, vegetarian, whatever you want basically, which is fantastic. You gotta love the Spanish, haven't you? Look at this. You don't need a path. We'll just stick like a zebra crossing going up the side of a really thin road, and you can walk up there, you'll be fine. Look at Daisy. I've done everything I can to keep her in shade, and she's still sticking her head out at pram. Oh, I crashed. We've just been toying whether to actually film here. We've come to a place called Ananda's Bar, which we've been here before last year. Lovely place. It's a really kind of, I don't know how even to describe it. It's a
Tranquil,
like kind of, yeah, like a kind of Buddhist garden. And it's got like, sort of feels like a kind of mix between different cultures, doesn't it?
yeah.
They sell, like, there's a shop here, so you can buy sort of jewellery and things like that, like Tibetan type of jewellery. There's handmade stuff, leather stuff, things like that. Everything they cook, it's a cafe as well, like a restaurant and a bar, and everything they cook is all organic, homemade. And last year we came and we had some drinks. They do like homemade juices, absolutely gorgeous. And this year we thought we'll come back, because we didn't really get a chance to fully appreciate it and enjoy it last year. So we thought we'll come back and we'll just, you know, get chatting to the person here and what have you again. And it's been absolutely lovely, and we're toying, do we even film Orgivia? You know, we came last year, we don't want to bore you with the same stuff again. But I was just saying to Reese, there are places where you go and you've never been before, and obviously there's that excitement in there that comes from discovering a new place.
Discovering somewhere new for the first time is a unique feeling, isn't it?
It's fantastic, and it's nice for you to see that as well, I think. But it's also really nice as well to come back somewhere where you've been before, where it's a bit of almost feels like you're building up a bit of a home from home. You're getting to know people, you're building relationships with people in the local area.
We bumped into people today and they're like, oh, hi, how are you? You know, it's different, isn't it?
Yeah, you feel like you're kind of welcomed back a bit. We've always felt that way with Ibiza, haven't we? Because we've been going for so many years. So we've always felt that way with going down to Ibiza on sort of the East Coast side. But it's building that up in other areas as well. The more that you start to come back to places, the more you build up those relationships with people. And so I do think it's important to still film while we're here, to sort of share that with you, really, that going on holiday, and I know a lot of people will go on holiday to the same place year in, year out. Going on holiday or travelling isn't just about going to different places. That's great, and it's a completely different experience wherever you go, and it's fantastic, and it's, you know, you've got to get out there and see the world, because there's so many different places to see. But there's also nothing wrong in going back to places and building up those relationships and enjoying it.
It's nice, and that's part of travelling, isn't it? I suppose, you know, it's just another aspect and another side to it.
It feels a bit like safe and like a little safe haven when you go back somewhere that you've been before, and when people remember who you are and you get chatting to them again. And Orgivia is very, we said this last year, there's a lot of English here that are settled here. It's a very, very small place. It's right in the middle of the mountains. You're surrounded by mountains, and like there's a river that runs through the bottom of the village. It's absolutely beautiful. It's got a really alternative vibe to it. They do like a sort of a hippie market like you'd get in Ibiza every week. It's really nice. A lot of handmade clothing, jewellery, that type of thing. We've been to that today, and that were brilliant. It's a place where you feel like you could probably settle and live. You know, if you wanted to put your roots down somewhere other than the UK, this is probably a place where you could, because I don't think you'd miss home as much.
No, you wouldn't. No, because English is one of the major spoken languages in this area, so it would feel very much home from home. I think.
You can have that chat, because I mean, even if you learn a new language, I don't think that it's the same being able to chat away like you would doing your native language. You know, I still think if you've got like 5 or 6 different people talking in Spanish, even if you're fluent in Spanish, I think that's still quite difficult.
Yeah, you'd find it difficult to keep up. I know a friend of ours, Vittorio, he's said to me before, you know, he speaks Italian, and but if there's a busy conversation, he struggles, you know. So
yeah, because he's got really good English.
Fluent English.
You know, it can be very difficult, I think. So I think to be able to be in a place where you know that, you know, the vast majority of people here do speak English, and a lot of them are from England. A lot of them are actually from West Yorkshire area, funnily enough. It gives you that kind of home from home feeling. But if you ever are down Andalucia area, come down to Orgivia. It's definitely worth a visit. It's a lovely place to come. It's a completely alternative vibe to anywhere else you're going to find around here, really, because you get these, you know, obviously you've got the little villages throughout Andalusia which are beautiful, and we're going to go and investigate and find some of those and see what's out there. And you've got your main kind of coastal areas as well, where, you know, they're well known and built up for tourism and that type of thing. But Orgivia is very unique. It's got its own completely unique culture, completely unique people that are here. It's a place where a lot of people from all over the world have come to gather together that have got the same outlook on life. Get yourself down to Anandas if you do come here, because honestly, it's the first time I've actually eaten here, and I've never eaten food so beautiful.
So nice. Oh. Probably the best thing I've ever tasted, and not even exaggerating, not the way that I score caramel latte is genuinely the best thing I've ever tasted. It was beautiful.
Yeah. See, he's woken up in conversation now because he's talking about the food he's just eaten.
Food. I love everything about it.
But it is.
And then I had
beautiful.
an apple pie that were frozen. Didn't I?
So when you say it's not like the way you judge caramel lattes, are you making it up when you judge caramel lattes?
No, because all caramel lattes are a 10. So you can't really judge. It's just how I view it. You can't really judge it. But when it comes to food, that were really genuinely absolutely beautiful.
Absolutely beautiful.
Absolutely
well, she's made like a homemade dal, and then we had this beautiful rice, which was the first time she'd made it.
Like mint, she put
mint
like mint in it, and ginger and spices.
And she's from Ethiopia originally, so all of her kind of recipes as well have got that influence, and her mum makes a lot of her own spices.
Yeah, mum's own recipe, you know, that kind of thing.
So it's been passed down generations, you know. It's just
excellent.
so chilled out that you haven't even got the energy to pick up your camera.
No.
Daisy's chilling out in her bed, she's fast asleep. Daisy. Enjoying the fact that it's not absolutely roasting right now.
She looks like she's stuck her head in a sunflower.
She does look like that, I have to say, she does.
Like a peacock in full bloom.
She reminds me of that. There's an animal where when it gets mad, its things come out behind it, and it like opens them out like that, and it goes. Like
you're thinking of Jurassic Park, that dinosaur in Jurassic Park.
Is that what it is?
And it looks like that, and then it goes.
That's it. That's what I'm thinking. She looks like that.
Yeah, she does.
Well, we're going to get ourselves back to the van now and try and
figure out what to do about this heat.
Because it is so hot and there's no shade whatsoever. Nowhere to park up here where there's any shade.
We don't want to leave it here yet because we want to spend a few days here. But
we were going to go up to Granada and film up there for you, but unfortunately it's like 38 degrees up there.
It's too hot.
It's just too much. Well, I've got back, got in my comfies. I'm absolutely boiling. I'm literally sweltering. It is so warm. We took a drive down to another spot, which is by like where the river is. but it were just there were a lot of glass and stuff. It wasn't where the settlement is, which we were going to go to. It was sort of still in the town area. We nearly got stuck coming back out, didn't we? Well, trying to get up the hill, and the van just got stuck. It was like a shiny surface, or it would make a road out of a shiny surface. It was like, you know, the tiles that you walk on the path. It was like that, and the van was just like wheel spinning, and people were trying to come down. And Reese kept giving way to people coming down. Why does that smell funny? Put my water in it. Reese was trying to give way to people coming down, and I'm like, you can't give way to him, you're just going to have to keep going. So he's going up his hill, I'm going, just keep going, just keep going, just keep going. And it was like rolling back downhill. But we're just going to have a coffee now, oh God, blimey, I can't even do that. We're just going to have a coffee, rest this on here, look. This is quality filming for you, this. I can't lift it, it's too heavy for me. We're just going to have a brew, settle down, and try and get some sleep, I suppose. Reese needs to take the rubbish out, don't you? You need to take this out. You need to go to the bin. Catch it.
Look at Daisy with a little teddy bear. You got your little teddy bear, haven't you, Daisy?
She's just giving up. She's like, oh my gosh, it's too warm, I can't cope. It never gets old though, does it, Daisy? Like with that haircut, it just don't get old at all.
It's just so funny, bless her. She's in a bit of a miserable mood because we keep laughing at her.
He's like saying earlier. He says that like we've not. He's like, well, you know, I said I don't know why she's miserable. She's just so fed up all the time. He said, well, you'd be fed up and all. If somebody had brought you away and like they'd trimmed you down and stuff like that, you'd be fed up and all.
Emma says she looks miserable. She don't look like she's having a good holiday. What do you expect?
She's probably laid there. He says thinking, brought me away, and it's 1 minute it's freezing, it's raining.
Next minute it's
red
hot.
hot.
When they took me for a shave.
Somebody shaved my bum.
Bless her.
They've got this name for it where when they shave the bum and they get like hair on the bum and they don't like it, which makes them sort of sit down, like, and they get fresh air going up on the rear end and they have to sit down all the time. And apparently there's a professional name for a drafty bottom.
It's an actual diagnosis.
Anyway, take that rubbish out, look. You're distracting me.
But for anybody that's worried about Daisy, she is having fun. She's having lots of walks and she is enjoying herself. You can tell because the tail's wagging all the time. Isn't it, Daisy? Wag your tail.
There's jobs to do, you know. It's not all YouTube and fun.
I'm on holiday.
Got these cute little cups, look, aren't they nice? Got them from a charity shop. There's a little pop-up charity shop that comes up in Haworth. It's brilliant. It only comes up like once a year, and they do it in Sonia Smile's shop. But if you manage to catch it, it's absolutely brilliant. It's like run by the church and they've got loads of little bits there and stuff. And they had these little cups in there and I thought they're so cute because they're like the same name, but yeah, it's clear like whose is whose, because I hate somebody using my cup. Reese does that all the time. He uses your cup. Do any of you get annoyed when somebody else uses your cup? It drives me absolutely insane. It used to drive me mad when I worked in an office and people would just use your cup.
They have about 15 different bins here. They've all got labels on where you're supposed to put your rubbish. It's not just one bin.
No, they are good for bins though in Spain, aren't they? Bins are really good. Bins. There's always plenty of bins, which van life you need bins, don't you? You need loads of bins.
There's no better, is there, than a trip to a bin. It's like, you know, you see all blokes going out all at the same time on a night, wherever you are. It gets about 9:30 and every bloke's like that walking down the street with two bins.
That's probably because every woman gets bitten by mozzies all the time. I've got bitten by mozzies again, all over around it. That's one thing about Orgivia, there is quite a lot of mosquitoes around and like midges, and I think that's just because there's a river running by it, so it's like there's quite a few mozzies. I've got this though, if you're looking for anything, to sort of stop the mozzies, these are absolutely brilliant. Do them on Amazon. We ought to start one of them Amazon shops, you know. We haven't done that. Let us know if that would be useful for any van lifers. If you'd like us to like start one of them Amazon shops where you can, I don't know how you do it, but I think you can put links on to like different products and stuff so people can find them.
You can kind of put on so that people can find them or something.
I could also sell some of my stuff as well, like on a separate shop. Can we set a separate shop up? We could do that, couldn't we?
You can do a YouTube shop.
Oh, we could do. Let us know if you want us to do that. We could do something like that as well.
We could open a YouTube shop.
Look at my new cushion cover that I made. Oh, I've done that by hand as well. Sat and stitched that by hand. So yeah, we could do that. And most of these cushions and stuff as well, I did, didn't I? Yeah, but yeah, we could do bits like that. We could set up a little shop. We could be entrepreneurs. You never know. But no, this thing is really good. You just charge it up, and then you take the centre out and you wash it out when it's got dead things on it. I don't like killing anything, but I draw a line at mosquitoes, you know. It's just because I react so badly when I get bitten. It swells up right under my skin, and it goes like the size of, at the very minimum, it goes the size like the bottom of a glass. But if I'm in Ibiza and there's them tiger mosquitoes over there, them things just take over my entire arm. Like it's just massive. But this thing's really good. Just leave it, you just charge it up, leave it plugged in all night, and it basically attracts them to it, and then it's fabulous. So we've been thinking about like what we were talking about earlier about this sort of what is travel, and you know, like what to do next, where to go next, what to do. And I think that I want to go find some new places now. I want to go discover some new places. I really wanted to go to Granada, is it? That's what they call it, isn't it? I really wanted to go up there, but it is going to be too warm. It really is going to be too warm, because if it's hotter than this is too much already. I'm not even sure if we're going to be able to stay here a few days. We're going to have to see how we are in the morning, because it's absolutely red hot. So I'm thinking about going off and discovering somewhere new, but maybe we need to go a little bit more sort of either down towards the coast, or maybe go through kind of the mountains but a bit further down, so that we're coming away from that heat. Yeah, I'm not really sure what we're going to do yet. We're not right sure, are we?
I guess the idea is to eventually end up in Portugal, because we've never done Portugal, and then we'll be meeting Spain again when we kind of go north, but it's just kind of where to go now. I think I really want to see kind of the Andalucia is really famous for kind of the famous white villages, like the Spanish white buildings, the fincas that you kind of imagine Spain to be, and they're kind of nestled in the mountains throughout Andalucia. So I really kind of want to check out a couple of those villages.
I'm nervous about them roads though.
I know, them roads, because the thing with it is we've done some of the kind of snaky mountain roads.
We just don't know what they get like when you start to get deeper into these nature
obviously
places.
we've done Europe for many years, but we tend to always stick to toll roads, and so we're kind of venturing out now into trying to get out into the national parks and explore.
Yeah, I mean, we've taken side roads and stuff like that before, and we've done a lot of these snaky roads up in mountains, but especially like coming here, it's, you know, it is quite snaky, isn't it, coming here? But it's not, they're still main roads, and I just don't know if everywhere is the same when you start to go off into these kind of nature reserve places.
The real mountain, like the tiny little white villages,
and getting
way
right
up in
deep
the mountains.
into it. I don't know if it's like any different. This is like what we were saying like earlier when we were in restaurant, is just when you're travelling, think of, you know, we're not trying to tell you what travel should mean to you. You know, we want you to discover it for yourself. We want you to go out there and discover places and stuff. But if travelling to you is going back to the same places and you enjoy it, then do that. Go back and enjoy it. I think the thing is, there's good and bad in both sides, isn't there? It's great in discovering new places. It's also great in going back and building a community with people.
Yeah, because you get to know the same people, don't you? And even if you're the type of person that maybe goes to a hotel and you've been to the same hotel in the same place for the last 20 years, there'll be people there that you probably know that have also been going 20 years, and so you kind of meet up. I'm guessing, we don't do hotel holidays, but I'm guessing you kind of meet up with the same people, and so you end up with kind of a friendship group, which is also cool.
I think it's like, enjoy that and do it, but don't forget there's more out there.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? That's our message, is that there's stuff out there.
There's so much more out there, so many more places that you can see. It's like when you live somewhere and you find the perfect place to live, and you think, oh, I'll never get anywhere like this. I'd never find a friendship group like this anywhere else. And then you move somewhere else, and then you find something that's either similar or better or whatever. What I find is the more you travel, the more you realise that basically whatever you've been to and whatever you've enjoyed, there is the same as that somewhere else. It's getting repeated all over the world. There's still so much of the world that we haven't discovered that we want to discover, and definitely. We are limited because we've got an animal. Do you know, obviously Daisy. We've got Daisy. We can't, you know, there's no way I'd take Daisy on aeroplanes or, you know, even on long ferry rides and stuff like that.
No, so we can't get to the likes of Canada, America, India. We can't
leave it. Not while we've got Daisy, and hopefully, touch wood, she lives a long time, do you know. But I think it's just, you know when you start to travel around the UK, especially in COVID, when we started travelling loads, like you realise there's so many places that you've never even discovered in UK, and it's beautiful. There's so many places, hidden little places, but it's the same everywhere. There's so many hidden places, and you think about the size of like France and the size of Spain, and
it'd take you forever to explore everything in those 2 countries alone, wouldn't it?
yeah, there's so many different places you can go to and that you can look at. I know this episode's been a bit more about us kind of chatting with you about stuff, but we've done Orgivia before, we've filmed it before. We don't want to film it and bore you daft again, do you know?
I've seen that.
The same thing.
Seen it.
Been there, done that.
We don't need to see it again.
What was that? Cal Pilkington did it. Been there, done that.
So I've seen it, Ricky. Don't need to see it again.
Sometimes we just want to get a message across to you as well, do you know? And I think that is just, do whatever it is to you that you enjoy doing, whatever travel means to you, go and do it. But also don't forget there are other places out there. Enjoy going and seeing the same places, meeting the same people, having fun. Go discover new places. Push yourself, because you're not always going to enjoy it either. That's the thing, innit, with travel.
Yeah, we were saying this, weren't we, earlier, is that when you go on holiday, this is the difference. In our
keep chatting.
opinion.
I'm just going to go off screen and finish this coffee.
All right.
Pretend you can't see me bobbing down for milk.
When you go
Backside in camera. You can tell it's late and we're red hot, can't you? Ignore me.
when you go on holiday and you're going for a week, you're in a mindset and a mentality where you're going to enjoy that holiday, aren't you? I have to see dads at best, because dads have got 2 kids. And little Jimmy's really upset and he's crying. It's like, Dad's like, you're enjoying your holiday. It's cost me £500. You're gonna enjoy this holiday.
Have a good time.
You're gonna have your ice cream and you're gonna put a smile on your face, because me and your mother have paid a lot of money for you to come and enjoy it. So enjoy it, right? And it's that mentality, isn't it? Where when you go on holiday, your brain psychologically makes you enjoy the holiday. When you're travelling, we've been on the road now for a few weeks, haven't we now?
Yeah.
Back in the van, and so when you're travelling, your mindset, it becomes normal life, right? So it's like you have your good days, you have your bad days, you have places that you like and you have places that you don't like. You meet people that you like and you meet people that you don't like.
You have hair-raising moments.
You have hair-raising moments. You know, we don't argue, as you know, very, very rarely do we argue. But you've got, it's a very small space in Romany, so there's that aspect as well where you don't really have much of your own space. That can get on each other's nerves a little bit. And so, you know, it's not a holiday, it's travelling. That's the difference between a holiday where you're going to Benidorm or Jamaica or wherever for a week's holiday, Scarborough or anywhere that you go on holiday for a week. And you're sort of making each other enjoy it, aren't you? You're in that hyped moment, and travelling's a little bit different because you're not, because you know you've got weeks and weeks and weeks on the road, and it becomes everyday life.
It can be better though in some ways as well. So in some ways that can be worse, in some ways that can be better, because you're not, for me, that kind of planning of a holiday and all that pressure that you're going to have a good time, and then you get somewhere and it's not what you expected it to be, or you have an argument and it ruins it all completely. It's like when you kind of have this idea of a perfect Christmas day, isn't it, and then it goes wrong or whatever. So I think that with travel you don't have that level of pressure, which is better, as long as you're going into it with an open mind. You have to understand as well that you've got the difference in terms of, like Reese says, that proximity with each other. You know, you're together, you're out in the middle of nature a lot of the time. You're not necessarily always down by cafes or bars or whatever. I mean, you see us kind of going out and doing that sort of thing, but a lot of the time you are in the van,
and
or
a lot of the
walking
time,
together or whatever. It's
a good point, is that, because especially for YouTube, it'd be a little bit boring, wouldn't it, to sit and watch me reading a book for half an hour. Or, you know, we're editing on the laptop. We don't film that kind of stuff because it's rubbish content for you guys to watch. So what you don't see is the mundane
day to day,
2 or 3 days before we film something else. You don't see that mundane where it's like, you know, where we're not doing we're editing or we're working,
washing,
you know,
cleaning van.
As you know, I'm an artist, or I'm sat painting or whatever. That's the kind of day-to-day jobs, mundane stuff, isn't it?
We have the same things to do that anybody else has to do
at
home,
of course
don't
we do,
we?
yeah.
The
washing, the cleaning.
You know, you have to go empty your toilet.
Yeah,
you have to, you
all
have all
stuff.
that sort of stuff to do. This is why we warn people when it comes to like young people or people in new relationships as well. where you know, don't just jump on this thing where it's all over Instagram and YouTube. Get in a van, make it look gorgeous, you know, your beautiful white IKEA kitchen units and
You
all
see
that
them, don't
sort
you,
of thing.
with back doors on, and there's
Yeah.
usually a lady with very little clothes on. There is though, it's true. Lady's got very little clothes on, and she's staring out to this crystal clear, beautiful ocean
With
scene.
a lovely sunset.
You know,
Yeah.
guy's sat there in his boxer shorts with a cup of coffee and teeth as white as snow. You know, all that kind of stuff.
It's the thing is, you do have fantastic moments, don't you? You see some beautiful sunsets, some beautiful sights, some beautiful scenery.
Oh, yeah,
like,
you
you
do.
don't
All
even
that's
have
real.
words
Yeah.
for it. You know,
Yeah.
it's so gorgeous, some of the stuff you see. But also, it is important to realise that when it's travel, you are in a confined space. You've got the heat if you go into a hot country.
Like it is now.
You'd be surprised how much it can make you irritable when you're in the heat. It can make people go a bit sort of wound up and funny and not themselves. You've got to know each other really well. You've got to know that you can spend that much time together if you're on the road for a long time. I think if you've never done it before and you're thinking about getting a van and you're thinking about travelling, I tell you, go for it. I think if you're young and your relationship is quite new, or if you've never spent that much time just the two of you together before, then I would try small trips.
First.
Yeah, go on little holidays, and in the UK first, build it up, then go abroad on smaller trip, maybe like France or something, and then sort of start to go like south of France where it's a bit hotter. Just do it in bits. Or if you're going to do a big trip, maybe book yourself into an Airbnb for a few days every month or something. So you've got a bit of a
Airbnbs
break.
are great, yeah.
Because to be in that confined space where you get wound up and, you know, and it's difficult and things go wrong as well, like your van can break, one of you can get sick, your animal can get sick, as we've had with Daisy.
You realise that you've gone 20 miles in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
So then you're turning back
Usually
round.
my navigation.
And it's hot, and you know, and it's just, yeah, it can
And
be
you
difficult.
panic, you can go down a road, if you've not done certain roads before, it's unexpected, isn't it? And you can panic and think, oh my gosh, what's going to be down this road? There's lots of different things into really being on the road that you have to consider.
A couple of questions that we've had is where are we getting showers? Presumably people know that Romany doesn't have a shower. Well, she does have a shower. We've got like a hookup thing on the back of the van, which is great. So we've got that. We have got the sea. You know, when we're by the coast, we're getting the sea a lot. Rivers, we get lakes, stuff like that, and swimming pools, swimming baths. It seems to be
hotel gyms.
Hotel gyms. Seems to be €2 or €3 to go to a swimming bath here and say, "Can I just use the shower?" So that's a really great tip.
Oh, garages have them as well.
Garages, that's a secret. That's a
garages.
little secret, is that?
I think anyway now. We're going to get off to bed, get some sleep, because I am absolutely shattered. I'm going to finish my coffee, get off to bed. I have found that since kind of coming and settling back into the van that I'm like tired earlier, aren't I? I'm very tired. It's a lot of it as well though, like I've said before, I don't often take medication. I like to avoid medication if I can do, and do things as naturally as possible.
That's a personal choice, so always consult your doctor.
Yeah, absolutely, it is a personal choice, and not that I'm against, you know, your conventional medicine, because it has its place, absolutely. You know, it's, you know, like I've always said,
you don't take them if you don't have to, do you?
Well, I've always said you don't want lavender oil if you've got a broken leg, do you?
Exactly,
Do you know what I mean? So it's there are situations like this where I'm taking my tablets to travel, because there's no way that I can manage the pain without taking my medication during the day. So that's making me a little bit drowsy as well, and a little bit tired, because I'm not used to taking it. And like you say, it is a personal choice. I don't want people kind of going, you know, giving up the medication, because I kind of do things more naturally. It's just what I found works for me and for my body, and everybody's different, so you've got to find what works for you and consult your doctors and all that sort of stuff. But it's, yeah, I have found sort of settling back into the van good, but difficult. The heat's good.
Yeah, the heat's helping,
really helping. Yeah. I'm able to walk a lot more. With Daisy's pram as like a kind of walker, but I am able to walk a lot more than I was doing before. I were only just getting up and down the steps, and literally kind of managing to, you know, to walk up road type of thing, and that were about it. And that were with the help of a stick. I'm still not kind of walking without anything as such, am I? Not for any distance.
No,
anyway,
need Daisy's pram, don't you?
But it, you know, I am getting there with it, and I do think it's going to really help me to be out in the heat. It's just that obviously I kind of feel a bit frustrated as well with the fact that there's a lot of things that I can't really sort of do, and that I might not be able to do, and a lot of, you know, getting up certain places that we'd normally go and look at. You know, it's just, I think that's going to be quite difficult. But I'm going to get to bed now because I am, like I say, very tired, and we'll see how we're feeling in the morning with this heat. See how it's going to work.
Buenas noches.